Hello, Inner Circle members. How are you? Welcome to your first full week of November. Yeah, first full week of November. Um, yeah, crazy week, but we're gonna make it. All that kind of good stuff. Tonight, what I want to do is to do a little bit of meditation, to do talk about a happy pocket full of money, just to kind of give us something to think about. I think it's important for us to be thinking about manifesting because we're at this time. Hey, Eileen, welcome. And also just shout out to Azizi and Paula. Paula is listening as she drives home. So safe travels to you, Paula and Azizi. Yes, we see you. Thank you for checking in. Hello to everyone. Hello to all the sisters who watch the replay. I appreciate you. Mwah. Love you all so much. This is like energetically, we're all one, live or replay. But yeah, tonight I want to talk a little bit more about a happy pocket full of money because we're at a time where we're talking about, moving in a direction of manifesting more of what we want. And there's no time like Sag season, which we're not at Sag season yet, but we are headed in that direction. And it's really just good to understand a different way of understanding spirituality. I'm going to say it that way. So also I want us to look at this lunar journal, which I don't think I brought up this lunar journal. Let me bring this up for us to look at too, because it's important for us to start making sure we fill this out on a regular basis. Where is it? Chime in and let me know that you are here. I know Eileen is here and I know. Oh, here we go. Paula is listening as she drives. And yes, okay. I have so many tabs open. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little bit salty about the time change. I love it when we get our hour back, but oh my gosh, like this is how my eyes feel right now. Okay, so let me just share a little bit of music. If you can, go on ahead and begin to prepare to relax. You'll see it, and then I'm going to take it away. Eileen, can you hear that? Hey, Felicia. Welcome. So, yes, let's just take a moment to just do a little bit of mindfulness practice. Okay, perfect. So, one of the things that I want us to remember is, and we talked about this actually in the workshop this weekend, the importance of getting quiet. And the more we take that time, the more we begin to get used to our mind slowing down and becoming aware of the present moment. And the more we are aware of the present moment, the more we feel resourced, the less we feel anxious, because I know a lot of people have been feeling quite anxious here lately. And a thought that has been coming to me here lately, as I ponder, why have I been pulling Orsair so much? This energy called Orsair. Orsair is from the Metanetter. And I thought to myself, Orsair speaks to the importance of looking at what is your destiny, focusing on what is your destiny and doing that. Because and one of the key words is unity. And oftentimes it's about how much can we unify our inner world. This is how we begin to walk more authentically in the world. Okay, perfect. Thank y'all for letting me know you can hear it. But thank you for Felicia for getting the candle going. We always know Felicia gonna show up and light that candle for us, y'all. Thank you, because I don't have a candle lit, so I appreciate you. But we're wanting to make sure that we have unity within ourselves, and that's what mindfulness can do for us. And the other thing that I want to just encourage us all to do is to ask, how much is what we're doing bringing peace, unity, and harmony within? How much of that is bringing this? Because Oyser is an energy that is about um, understanding that we are higher divine beings in a body, and that we are, we are the great divine. And when we understand that, then our true nature of peace, this is what we seek, this is what we desire. And we seek to express ourselves in the world, or to live in alignment with our destiny. This is very, very important. And so it's so much about working on the inner landscape and asking yourself, how much is this helping to contribute to, whatever it is you've been called here to do. Sometimes I get afraid of sounding like a Pollyanna. I really do. I've always been told I was an eternal optimist. Um, but this is really the message that I've been getting. It's like you want to be feeling that peacefulness on the inside, and you want to ask yourself, is what I'm doing every day bringing more peace on the inside of me? Is it bringing a calmer mind? So I'll talk a little bit more after meditation, because I'm just talking and talking right now. So, but I just kind of want to, set it up for why mindfulness is so important. So if you would just go on ahead and take some deep breaths, and let's inhale and exhale. You want to take a nice breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And you want to become physically still. You just want to choose a posture that is comfortable for you. And you can lightly close your eyes, let your gaze fall down to the floor to limit visual distraction. And you want to just bring awareness to whatever is going on for you right now. Whatever that is. Just give the weight of your body to gravity. Just let it go. Relax. Just allowing your body to sink into the points of contact, into whatever you're sitting on. Just let it go. And now you want to begin to notice any sensations in your body. If you notice any tension or resistance towards painful or unpleasant sensations, just gently turn towards them. And when we practice mindfulness, one of the things that is important to embrace is acceptance. And so wherever you feel any tense sensations, any pain, just see if you can accept them. Just as best you can, accept them. If you begin to tense around the breath, then just let it go a little bit more with each out breath. Soften into gravity. And notice any thoughts that arise and pass through your mind. See if you can just let them come and go without being attached to them. Just observe them as if they were clouds in the sky. all about being present and in the now moment when we are practicing mindfulness. Now, notice any feelings and emotions as they arise. And can you let these come and go? Just be sure to include everything within your awareness with a kind perspective, non-judgment. Now, allow your awareness to gather around the experience of the breath deep in the body. Just drop your awareness inside your breath and feel the different sensations in the front, the back, and the sides of the torso. It's just all about awareness. That's it. Can you feel your awareness within the flow and movement of the breath? And what you want to do is just use the breath to anchor your awareness in the present moment. Breathing in the body, noticing each inhale and exhale again and again. And each time you notice your mind has wandered, gently guide your mind back to the breath deep in the body. Now, gently expand your awareness to include your whole body. Feel the weight, the shape, as your body sits, stands, or lies. And if you've got any pain or discomfort, make sure your awareness stays open. Just cultivate acceptance or acknowledgement for all of your experience. Befriend it. And use the breath to anchor your awareness in the present moment. Breathing in the body, noticing each exhale. Inhale, and then exhale. Let's do it again. Inhale, and a long, slow, deep breath out. Relaxing as you do so. Lord, this is our last breath. Inhale. Beautiful, long, slow, deep breath out. You did a great job today practicing your mindfulness. Just know the more you practice mindfulness, the more benefits that you will see from it. One of which is a calmer mind, a calmer nervous system, and just in general, feeling more peaceful and potentially more happy. I'm going to stop the music. All righty. Hello. How is everybody? How are you doing? How was that for you? Even the sisters in the replay, I would love to hear from you. Okay, so we're going to keep it moving. Let's look at, you'll see me looking at my notes. Let's look at the weekly wisdom. Let's look at the weekly wisdom. Oh my gosh. All righty. Oh, look at that. Orser Hatep. We're going to focus on Orser. I'm very fixated on Orser, and it's not about me. I know this. But it's just this message that I keep getting from Orsair. So maybe some of you all will benefit from working with Orsair. Okay. So again, one of the things that I talked about with Orsair, and you can use this to go into your week. This is a week that is pretty astrologically rough. Um, so this is probably a very good time to remind ourselves of Orsair. And so I had been pondering Orsair, which typically anytime I do a reading for somebody, oh, let me make sure y'all can see this. Typically, oh, good. I'm glad y'all feel relaxed. Oh, good, Cindy. Beautiful. Woo, yes. Sometimes I get nervous about doing things like this because people are so used to me talking, but I know for a fact we have to practice mindfulness. We have to. Oh, I'm gonna put it like that. Yeah, we have a new view on StreamYard. So good. Okay, let's just stay relaxed as we think about this. I don't want y'all to think actually too hard on it. Let's just be open to see what comes to you. I would love to hear your thoughts once I finish kind of giving what I'm going to share. But one of the main things that I talk about with Orsair is that it's all about being authentic. That is one of the key words for Orsair. Be authentic. And then it just so happened, I was listening to somebody talk about something that her shaman had said. And her shaman said that the only thing that we have is our authenticity. That is it. And so I wondered to myself, like, do we even really understand what it means to live authentically? And I think this is one of the reasons that I love the Four Agreements so much, because the Four Agreements can help us to easily live authentically. Because if we're being impeccable with our word, that means we only say what we mean, or we will back up what we said and then just suck it up. And I know I probably sound like, very masculine or whatever, but it's just how I feel like about our word. Say what you mean what you say. And there are times when I'm like, dang, I committed to something and I wish I had not. I can kind of see where maybe I should not have committed to it, but I'll just say, I committed to it. This is all I have. And that's one of the things that they talk about in the Four Agreements is, to a certain degree, all we have is our word. And I relate that to authenticity. Like, it's important for us to line up our whatever's coming out of our mouth, whatever we are committing to, whatever we're saying, whatever we're aligning with, that we be authentic, that we mean it. Another word that I've been using quite a bit is, am I congruent? And I think this is an important topic to talk about, because when it comes to the things that we want to manifest, it is important to be congruent with that. If you're not congruent with it, just admit that. Like, don't lie to yourself. And then again, going back to acceptance. So we have authenticity. We have what did I just say? We want to be congruent with our words. And so once we are congruent, acceptance, that's the word I was looking for. Then once we accept that we're not congruent, then we can actually do something about it. Okay. So what does it mean to be congruent? That means everything is lining up. That means that whatever it is I say that I desire to do, I am lined up with that. And when I realize I'm not lined up with it, then all I need to do is begin to do the work that would get me to line up to it. And so this is one of the reasons why I talk about a happy pocket full of money. Is not so much for me about money as it is about understanding principles of manifestation. And part of that is understanding, how do we actually manifest? Like, how does this actually work? And that's how we begin to like line ourselves up with what we want. But also when it comes to authenticity, sometimes if y'all think about that small voice in our heads, we'll do things and we'll be thinking, I really don't know if I believe this. And I think it's okay that sometimes we are lined up with it. It seems like, yeah, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. But the point that I am getting to, because sometimes I have aligned myself with some BS only to realize, dang, I'm aligned with BS. I really did think this was the right thing for me to do. I really did think this movement was the movement for me, or this philosophy was the philosophy for me, only to find out, dang, this is not really who and what I am. And what I'm beginning to realize is I will know congruency because I feel peace. The more I feel congruent, the more I am authentically showing up in the world the way I know that, that's in alignment with my destiny, the more I will feel peace. And the flip side of that is when we are trying to put on these labels that we know this, I just want to make these people happy. And a lot of us, this started when we were kids. It started the moment we were born. More than likely, the majority of us, our parents had a name picked out. And if they didn't have a name picked out, they figured one out. I had a name picked out for my first son. The second baby came so fast, we didn't have a name picked out for him. So we had to hurry up and figure out what to name him. But he had that name within 24 hours. The gender is there. It's like all these labels get put on us. And I'm not judging anything about these labels. I'm just saying, like, we come here and just get so much laid on us. So many labels. And then if you think about how oftentimes you have just felt so resistant, like, I hate that people think this about me, or I just don't feel like I line up with fill in the blank. There have been times when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing my best to do this, and I just feel so much stress, and I'm trying to be this thing or whatever it is, this label. And I remember when I finally began to realize, you know why it doesn't line up with me? Because it don't line up with my destiny. That's not authentically who and what I am. I want to hear from y'all. Have y'all had that experience, and what was it? One of my favorite books. Yes. What was that experience? So I'll just use an easy low hanging fruit right now, and then I'll think of something else. So the easy low hanging fruit for me was definitely trying to fit into Christianity. Definitely. Like, I was always a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. Had no idea whatsoever. And would do everything I could to kind of go with it and, be that, great Christian person or whatever. And and then there's so much resistance. There was so much resistance to, I don't know why religion is such a big deal. Like, I want to be like the people in Singapore. Let's just make it like, we don't need to make it this serious, y'all. But anywho, oh my gosh. You try to leave and everyone is like, you might be going to hell or whatever. This is my experience. Everybody might have a different one. But if you try to break from the group and they're not understanding what you're doing, then it's easy just to be like, well, I don't want to break from my group. So, I'm going to try to hang in there and make it work. And finally, I was just like, I now fully get why I never was happy as a Christian. I didn't realize that. I just thought maybe I wasn't catching something or whatever. But then once I really woke up, I was like, I felt so much dissension on the inside because it's not who and what I am. I did not come here to be a Christian. I just did not. So maybe y'all will let me know. I would love to hear from y'all, but no pressure. Y'all might be chilling. It's late. It's an hour later than what we're used to. So y'all kick back and relax. Don't feel any pressure to comment, but I think y'all get what I mean. So yeah, this is a time for us to be understanding that it's important for us to show up with authenticity and to line ourselves up with what brings us the most peace. That's what's very important. We want to feel that peace. Now, this might not be the easiest week to feel peace, but this is why we do our spiritual practices. This is why we take that time to be mindful. Um, it is because it works. And one of the greatest lessons I learned from my guides was, you know, don't come crying to us if you don't feel right and you haven't been working your spiritual practices. You know, I have found that the more I take that time to be mindful, I take that time to journal, to tap, do my meditation, hypnosis. For some people, it might be whatever, fill in the blank, go sit by the river or go on a hike or do your art or whatever. The more I do that, the more it's like nothing throws me. And that's the thing that we want. We don't want to be thrown side to side. Okay. And so, yeah, another meaning for a seer is trusting in the omnipresence, the omniscience, and the omnipotence of the universe. It's very important for us to understand. And this is something that we'll focus on again, because the first part of um, A Happy Pocket Full of Money is, well, a lot of this is about really grasping on to the fact that we are consciousness. This is what we live in. We live in energy. We're energy beings. And so, the omnipresence is about the universe realizing. And I think this is one of the reasons why I'm going on and on about Oyster, is because this is how we're going to manifest. The more we walk authentically and congruently, or at least accept, I'm not fully congruent, but I'm willing to become more congruent with whatever it is I want to manifest. Then what ends up happening is we begin to grasp the energy of the universe, and it begins to shape around whatever it is that we are thinking about the most and feeling the most and what we want and desire. And so, yeah. And so, and the omnipotence of the universe, you know, one of the things that I think is important for us is to make sure we understand that we are all powerful beings, that we live in an all powerful universe. Sometimes when I feel sort of like I'm not quite sure what's going on in the world, it just seems like I can't stand United States media. I can't stand it. I'm like, y'all can't report. Y'all can't have balanced reporting. All you want to send me is this negative BS. And so, we have all these negative impressions, and they get set in our consciousness, and it may feel like we just went on and started thinking about something else and doing something else, but these become impressions. And so the next thing we know, the world feels scary, and it just seems like so much bad is happening, when most of us know on a day-to-day basis, we come and we go. We come and we go. We don't experience that much evilness in our lives. Like, we might have those moments where we dealing with the people that we like. Now, this one right here, this one is like, we're gonna label you evil. We gonna believe that you don't have to be evil, but you presenting yourself as a child of God, cleverly disguised, as Yana would say, cleverly disguised as an evil one. But I mean, honestly, y'all, the majority of us come and go. And so when I start feeling like I'm not certain, there are times when I allow my mind to go out into outer space, and I just say, you know what? The great divine has created all of this. I think the great divine can handle this little bitty thing that I got going on, or, I can align myself with that energy and just be like, you know what? Everything is okay. Everything is okay. And all I'm going to do is do what I came here to do and be and to express into the world. So this energy of Oyster, stepping more and more into authenticity and aligning ourselves with the higher energy, the higher wisdom. And, it's like, it sounds so airy fairy. Sometimes I don't always like talking like this, but it really does boil down to the more we do our work, our spiritual work, our practice, whatever you want to call it, whatever makes you want to do it, then this is where we begin to land. The greatest indicator being this place of presence and peace on the inside. If I could just boil it down to, you'll know when you are headed, like your practice is, you got your practice really working for you, is when you can invoke peace, when you for the most part feel peace. Now we're going to go scattered. We're going to go sometimes when we feel negative, but how quickly can we bring ourselves back to being centered in peace? I honestly believe this is the goddess centered lifestyle. This is the goddess way, to be anchored and centered in our own energy, to be so at one with the universe that we trust it beyond anything. No matter what presents in the world, it's like I am at one. I was telling someone today, I remember hearing my husband preach one time about this great biblical character, and this one, his name is Enoch, ascended, didn't even die. And he was trying to figure out, why did Enoch ascend? What was it that stood out from him, from everyone else? And the only thing he could find is, it said, Enoch walked with God. And so that's what I say to us. What we want to do is to ever presently walk with the divine energy, the divine consciousness. And it seems so etheric, like you can't catch it, but just a simple mindfulness practice, 5 minutes here and there, like every day. I'm not going to lie. I think right now, I'm telling y'all right now, do the spiritual work, because the next 6 months is just going to get crazier and crazier. I'm going to skip down, and then I'm going to come and see what y'all are talking about. Okay, we're in week 2, aren't we? How was that new moon for y'all? Man, it was a very spiritual moon for me. It was a very spiritual moon for me. Let me see what y'all are talking about. Hey, Paula. Oh, Laurel's here. Hey, Laurel. Joanne is here. Okay, let me start at the top. Greetings, Joanne. I have always felt other. Yeah, Felicia. I'm accepting that more and more. In a way, sometimes it's a little painful until you find your tribe. But yeah, it's the older I get, it's like becoming more and more glaringly apparent that I'm very, very different. Even in groups where I sort of seem like, I'm with people who are like me, I always feel like I'm odd. And it's okay. Hey, Laurel, I'm so glad you made it. Not celebrating holidays that are rooted in massacres, greed, and lack. Yeah, Cindy. I don't judge anybody. I just say everybody can do what they want to. But as I was doing the spiritual care packages, I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna acknowledge the holidays. But I never have, to be honest with you. When I was a fitness instructor, I will honor people's birthdays. Those are my favorite holidays. That's actually similar to my experience, but it happened later in life. I was ready to break off and find my true self. And it was difficult to do because my family was the church. That's a very good point, Eileen. Yeah, you can relate. Yeah. But, for me, what I have found, honestly, what has made me stick and stay with my spiritual path is how much peace I feel. I don't feel peace when I try to be like everybody else just so that I can fit in. I feel turmoil. I feel exceeding turmoil. In the African dance community, it was the same way. I was like, don't force me to fit in with everybody. I was in a place where people loved a certain style of African dance. And I was just like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. And so I never, my husband will even say sometimes, you can't just be like everybody else. But he ain't like everybody else either. So I kept going, feeling detached and different. So I started feeling like a black sheep. Yeah. And misunderstood. But when I moved away, I found my way. Beautiful. Okay. Felicia's the same. I see it says wear white. That's one of my messages I got yesterday. Yeah. Auxerre is very similar to the energy of in the Ifa tradition called Obatala. but the color is white. Yes. I did my new moon intentions a day early. The day of the new moon was really crazy for me. Huh? Was it, Paula? Huh. I don't actually remember it. I can't think, I'm one of those type of people who's like, I don't know what happened. I just know it's been very, very spiritual. What, that was Friday? Was the new moon? Yeah, I think it was Friday. I don't fit in either. Never did. I now do my own thing. Yeah, that's us. That's what we do here. Okay, so has anyone looked at the wisdom for this week? Because I don't want to do it if y'all have looked at it already. Let's see here. Yeah, it's been very spiritual for you, Joanne. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. Well, I know I put it in Mighty Networks. That's what I meant to put in the newsletter that I sent out today. But anywho, in the Mighty Networks group, I posted the other day, and it was the day of the new moon, I'm pretty sure. I was like in between waking and sleeping, and I saw an orange frog. I was just like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I love it though. I love it. Okay, no problem. If you haven't had time, let's just talk about it. Let's just go on ahead and talk about it. So we're in the waxing moon cycle. And when we're during the waxing moon cycle, it's time to move towards our goals and intentions. We don't have any major, I said aspects, but it's events this week. But we got major aspects this week. But there's lots of long void of course moons this week. We already went through one yesterday. I don't know why I just made it up in my mind that it was a void moon leading to Pisces, but it was a void moon leading to Capricorn. So we'll look at that. It's a very intense week, so embrace feeling frustrated as a way to move yourself into action, because that's the main energy of this week, is this energy of frustration, and you just want to let yourself get frustrated to the point where you just like, oh, forget it, I'm just gonna do it. You want to use it to charge yourself, to activate yourself. Okay, this is not a gentle week. Next week and the week after that, way more gentle. This week, not gentle. So if you feel it gently, perfect. But if you don't, or if there's some stuff you want to get done. So I don't know if you've noticed, like today, man, did y'all have a lot of energy? The moon is in Capricorn. Man, I've been getting everything done. Everything. I was like, yes, I am just really killing it, y'all. At the very least, here we go. And maybe this is something that Cindy can relate to. At the very least, take deep breaths and be open to the work rest pattern as you work on your projects and go about your day. Because Cindy was saying she needed that mindfulness practice at the beginning. And so, yes. So we started out in Sagittarius, but we're in Capricorn now. So I love Capricorn because it brings grounding. It brings sobering energy. Now, one of the things, okay, let's talk about this new moon. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing that happened for me at the new moon. Man, did I have a reality check. That was part of the new moon. Reality check. Oh my goodness. I I weigh myself every day. And I got on the scale and I was like, you are gonna take your weight seriously, because let me just tell y'all this. So because of the eclipses being in my first house, which is a life-changing house, fam, is life-changing, and it's on my ascendant and my moon. I've just been like freaking out, like, okay, what is it that I need to do? And so one of the things I know for a fact that I need to do is to take my health more seriously, which I do decently, but it's just certain things I haven't just like pulled together yet. And so I got on the scale and I noticed my weight is up, and I was just like, okay, because I'm looking for all the clues. This is one of the things I've been telling y'all. You want to look for all the clues that are coming right now. because it's letting you know a lot of what this moon or what the next year and a half holds for you. And so I was like, you know what? Quit playing with your weight. Quit playing with your weight. Do something. Right. And so it's a reality check. I think this is a week where some of us will experience a serious reality check. So let's see here. Okay. Yes, the orange frog. And so whenever you have an animal totem show up, like definitely look it up. Don't just be like, oh, that was interesting. I saw this animal in my fill in the blank. Mm-mm. Look it up. Look it up. So the orange frog has to do with transformation and this very big spiritual growth. Like y'all, seriously, if I'm telling y'all, I'm just like, okay, I'm listening, universe. I'm listening. Got a lot done today at work. Good. Okay, Felicia read it. Okay, perfect. Yes, got a lot done today at work. So these void moons, let's look really quickly. I don't know what I was looking at. Today is the 7th. No, the 8th. Did I put the wrong one in here? Maybe I didn't change it. Hold on. Yeah, maybe I didn't change it. Just 1 second, y'all. Let me just pull up an ephemeris. Mm-hmm. Okay, today is November 7th at 8:03 is when it went into Capricorn. I have no idea why I said Pisces. I'm like seriously trying to figure out why I said Pisces. Anywho, the moon goes void on the 9th at 12:52 p.m. and then goes back into a sign at 10 o'clock at night. That's ridiculous. It's gonna be 9:52 for the people on the West Coast that the moon goes void. 12:52 for Eastern time zone. And then it goes back into Aquarius at 10:02. So let me look here. Yeah, that's okay. I don't know. Anywho, so that's going to be a long void moon. When the moon goes out of Capricorn tomorrow at 12:52 p.m. Eastern time, it will not go back into a sign. Y'all get everything done tonight. And then it'll go in on the 9th into Aquarius. Oh yeah, this is the right one. It'll go on the 9th into Aquarius at 10:02 p.m. and then it goes void at 2:53 p.m. on the 11th, whatever day that is. And then it doesn't go back into a sign until early the next morning on the 12th. What did we do to Mother Earth? Or Mother Nature or the moon? We're like, who made the moon mad? That means on the 11th, we have to have everything done by 3 p.m. Eastern time. So that's why you have to work, rest, work, rest, work, rest. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. The other things, and sorry to scroll like this, y'all, is November the 10th. So that's in 2 days. We'll start feeling it now. Is a very, what I call a hot day. Where's my thing? I'm not going to get it. But anywho, it's a lot of intense energy on that day. And Mercury is a planet that is the busiest this week. And what that means is just Mercury has a lot of interactions going on. And so it's important to take some deep breaths. It might feel like Mercury retrograde a little bit this week too. But yeah, it's just important to make sure that you avoid arguments, keep your mind calm. The closer that we get to the end of the week, there is some spiritual energy, intuitive energy, because Neptune is a player. And also at the end of the week, This is where it could be some unexpected news, sudden changes in your schedule or travel. It may feel like Mercury retrograde. So just keep all your liquids away from your technology. Okay. Actually, what that is, I can already tell what that is. That is Mercury retrograde. I mean, Mercury opposite Uranus. Yeah, Mercury opposite Uranus. And see, Mercury's in a water sign. And so that's why I said keep all liquids away from your technology, which we should do anyway. So let me see if I can bring y'all some good news. Let's look at the lunar journal real quick, and then I'll pull some extra affirmations for us for this week because we need some extra affirmations. We need some extra affirmations. The shorter days and darkness in the early evening really mess with me. Yes. Yes. What are some things that you can do, Felicia? You know what I'm going to start doing, y'all? I'm going to get some lights and hang them up in my room. I noticed one of the young ladies, I watched a young lady who made some YouTube videos, and she had the lights. I was like, I'm going to go to the store and buy, lights like what people typically put outside. Maybe you can like really light your home up and beautify your home and just keep it well lit at night. But you are up quite a bit at night, aren't you? So that's probably even more important for you. Beautify the home. Any other suggestions for Felicia? Do you do the vitamin D? I'm not a medical professional. I ain't even professing to be anybody like that. This is just something that I know. We get less vitamin D. So maybe taking that vitamin D on a regular basis, would also help. Anybody else have any suggestions for Felicia on dealing with the nighttime? Now, I'm not going to lie. I used to really dislike this time of the year, and I'm going to tell you what I changed it into, Felicia. This is now my time to go into the womb of the mother. That's how I see it. I see it as me going into the womb of the mother. Okay, y'all, we need to be filling out our journal. So we are at the waxing. We're still waxing crescent. I don't think we've made it to first quarter yet. Moon phases. And I show y'all all of this in the weekly video actually. So we're at waxing crescent. The first quarter moon is on the 10th. Yeah, the 10th is gonna be on and popping. I'm interested to see, but actually we'll be feeling it this today and tomorrow. And then even on the 11th and the 12th. I think the end of the week is gonna be on and popping. I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, that first quarter moon, it's gonna be extra. It's gonna be real extra. But right now we're in waxing crescent. So let's talk about, let me ask you this. Just think about what you're working on right now. Maybe it's a longer term goal, or maybe it's something that you are working on in the next few weeks. So what are my next steps? What opportunities look good to me? Can you think of something, anything that you could write down in this journal? What are my next steps? So for me, having that reality check at the new moon, I was like, I'm recording all my food. And I found some people who take this belly dance workout that I do. And so I was like, hey, anybody looking for an accountability buddy? So I found some people who are like, yeah, let's be accountability buddies. It's called Sharky. Just taking it real seriously. I've been watching Will Smith. I'm going to start watching, just people who are on their journey to getting healthier and more in shape, especially people who are my age, because it's different, in my opinion, once we get a little bit older. So that's what my next step. And also I'm going to be writing in my journal, just like writing my feelings and insights that come to me. So those are the opportunities that I've looked at. Let me see what y'all are saying. Okay, good, Felicia. Let me see here. I got to go back far enough. Okay. I have light therapy. I try not to stress about it. Okay, good. Girl, why am I looking at lights now from my office? Yeah, Joanne. I plan on getting my nice little feminine lights. Y'all gonna be like, oh, look at you, Tyra. You at the club. No, it's gonna look like I'm at the spa. Okay, good. You take 5,000, whatever it is, IU a day. It's important to get at least 2 minutes outside in the morning, 2 minutes outside late afternoon with no glasses. It helps to regulate your inner clock. Beautiful. Okay, good. You go into the garden. Yeah, I love Sharkey and Eileen. They have recorded videos. So if you can't show up for the live class, you can just watch the recording of the live class. Okay, well, let's look at the next thing. Let me do it this way. What are my intentions, goals for the next step? See, this is how we live the goddess-centered lifestyle. We want to be mindful. So what are my intentions, my goals for the next steps? And because the one of the things to know is that this is actually a planning moon. Yeah, we might be taking some steps and we might be doing some things, but this might be a time where we're a little bit more of like still planning. The first quarter moon is an active moon. This is what is called the passive phase of the moon. So this is why the questions look like this. What are my intentions and goals for the next step? Because perhaps you may find that once the 10th hits, folks gonna be active. Folks gonna be working. Folks gonna be like all of a sudden just, ping, pang, pow, killing it, doing it. Okay. So what are my intentions, goals for these next steps? So, for me, what am I going to write down for that? I'm going to work out more. That was the thing that I came to today. Look, as I watch Will Smith, I'm like, dang, I'm not working out as much as Will Smith. And I'm not going to try to do the same kind of workouts as Will Smith. But that was something I said I was going to do. So what about you? What are your intentions, goals for these next steps? If you don't know, you have this, lunar calendar, and it helps. It really does help move you forward. What will help me relax and get things done? What will help me relax and get things done? Even if you just bang out a sentence or two, it'll be a good thing. Okay. What will help me relax and get things done? Definitely for me, hypnosis, mindfulness, tapping, and doing workouts I like, which is bar and belly dance, fitness. I'm not trying to be a belly dancer, as well as yoga. Okay. Let me turn all this off. It's just too much. Okay. Let's see here. I ordered my planner journal for next year. Good. Committed to journaling. I love that, Felicia. I love that. The goal is to reset my body and go deeper spiritually. Beautiful. Beautiful. You're focusing on your diet. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Hypnosis is your bestie right now. I love it. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit. Oh, I said I was going to pull. It's not a lot of y'all. So if you want me to pull what do you call this? An affirmation just for you, let me know. Writing it down, planning. Help me get things done. Oh, yes, planning helps you get things done and relieve stress. It's so true. Put a 1 in the chat. Okay, if you want an affirmation. So Paula said, follow up with my financial advisor. Good. Do something every day towards making my products for my show. Continue to work out to get myself stronger and stronger. Beautiful. Yeah, Paula, the power lifter. Eat right, sleep, supplements, water. See, a lot of us are focused on health and wellness right now. And I can see that with there being so much energy in Taurus. I can see that. All right, here we go. Cindy. Yeah, sometimes it's like, ooh, I'm talking so much. I'm going to be working with a voice person, a voice coach pretty soon to kind of help me do a better job with my talking. Okay, let's see here. Cindy. Ooh. This is for Cindy. I am peaceful. I feel tranquil and quiet in my body and mind. Isn't that interesting that you showed up on the very night that that's what I'm talking largely about, Cindy? So I would love to hear from you. What are your best ways of helping you to feel tranquil in your body and your mind? These are the things that you want to begin to do for sure all week. And to ask yourself, like right now, am I peaceful? And then what helps to invoke more peace? Yes, Joanne, I'm getting this voice training. What invokes more peace in your life? I think, Cindy, something that would be good would be to make sure you are tuning into things that invoke peace. You know, maybe it's music, maybe it's listening to some type of spiritual text or teachings, philosopher, something like that. I have classes that are more spiritual in nature and not so like about, astrology, which the astrology for me is about the cycles. But who is the second one? Eileen. But yeah, listening to something that invokes peace, avoiding the things that tick you off, make you upset, irritate you, agitate you. You want to be moving in that direction where you are consciously choosing what you're allowing in and out. And actually, one of the things that I would say is important is to be like what is called amen. And what amen says is to unplug from the world as much as you can. And it seems sometimes almost like irresponsible, but it's the only way. And one of the best ways to unplug is through meditation. But I prefer doing mindfulness because it's just about being present and aware. For Eileen, this is a good one. I am adaptable. I am adaptable. I accept changes and can adjust to any situation. I am adaptable. And so, when you're working on your health and wellness, one of the best ways to be is adaptable because each day, each hormonal shift, each situation where you're interacting with people, it brings something new. And so, you just, and actually being adaptable is what helps us to stick and stay with our plans because sometimes we are having to work on our health and wellness because we've developed coping mechanisms that have, taken us out of health. And so, yeah, I am adaptable is so important to when you're working on your health and well-being. Maybe, sometimes we'll start off doing one thing and it's like a little bit too much. And so it's like, you know what? I'm adaptable. I can pull back and then incrementally move myself in that direction. Another thing that I love about adaptability, it's actually something that I relate to the goddess Oshun because she's very flexible, is to be flexible because when we're rigid, oftentimes it's very difficult to see, like the opportunities that we talked about that we are looking for this week. What opportunities are you looking for? Be adaptable and you'll see those opportunities. And so, yeah, that's what I'll have for you, Eileen. Let me see here. Noticing how people make you feel. Yes. Making decisions based on what you figure out about how you feel. This is very important, Joanne. Very important. Our emotional body, it dictates. Like another thing that I'll tell y'all is our gut. How many of y'all have heard that our gut is our second brain? I honestly feel like I've experienced like where I'm like, I woke up this morning saying I was going to eat A, B, C. And next thing I know, my gut is like, girl, you're not going to eat that today. This is what you're going to eat. And so, you just kind of have to train it to not eat that way. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, Felicia. Okay. Okay, Felicia, here's yours. I am persistent. I am persistent. I continue progressing through all circumstances. And so I just ask you, what is it that you need to be persistent about this week? Is there something that maybe is challenging you? And it might would be so easy to give up, but this is where committing to a new identity, as I see it, this is where persistence will come in. Because when you have decided this is who and what I am, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm manifesting. When we go back and look at all of these intentions that we've set, and again, it goes back to me talking about being congruent. When you're congruent with what it is that you say you want, you will be persistent. It'll be like, it'll feel like everything in the world is throwing something at you to stop you from doing what you were called to do. But one of the things I've been calling it, Felicia, is in my mind, I feel like I see doors, and I'll say, okay, I'm going in this direction. And it's like, you got to walk through these doors. A lot of times the doors don't look like doors. They look like fear. They look like, I'm not sure if I can do this. They look like something that I'll tell myself as to why this is hard or why I can't do this. And it's like, I now see it as a door. And so you got to have that persistence to keep walking through all the doors to get to what you want. And you've been persistent before. You know what it means to be persistent. And sometimes we might do really well being persistent over here. And so then what we want to do is to translate it to being persistent over here. So I would just say, what is it that you need to be persistent about? Okay, Paula. Do I have any water up here? Oh, here we go. Here we go, Paula. I am nurturing. I am nurturing. I foster good health and curate positive relationships. This is one that is, typical for you, Paula. Very nurturing. The question is, are you being nurturing to yourself? That's what I heard to ask you. Is Paula nurturing Paula? Paula's taking care of everybody else, but is Paula taking care of Paula? So the question for you would be, how can you be more nurturing to and for yourself this week? Making decisions, but yes, there are actual brain cells in your gut. Okay, yes. The body asking thing, you taught me, has me moving in a new direction. So what Jawan is talking about is, have y'all ever used your body as a pendulum? And your body has, of course, y'all know this, innate wisdom in it. But let me show y'all. And I don't know how well y'all are going to hear me off the microphone, but I'm going to show y'all what it looks like in case some of y'all want to use it, okay? So what you do is you let me take it up higher. So what you do is you want to ask your body some questions, okay? You want to ask your body some questions. And the first thing you want to do is you want to ask your body, give me the answer. I need to know which direction is yes and which direction is no. And I like standing about hip width or shoulder width apart because my body will sway and I don't want to fall. So you don't want your feet too close together. And so, I might say, like, is my name Tyra? Do people call me Tyra? And I want to see, what does my body do? Let me turn this way. Do people call me Tyra? Okay, watch this. Do people call me Jawan? Tyra. Do people call me Tyra? And so now I might ask, and Lord, I'm going to be upset if it says no to this. I might want to know, is this going to help my body? And so I just hold it next to my body. Is this cream good for my body? Yes or no? That's a yes. I could ask something like this. Is it good for my body? Is it good for me to eat sugar? Like, is sugar good for? See, look, my body went straight no. Okay. So that's what Jawan is talking about. I actually learned that this summer from a naturopath. So let me come out of this. I'm a little upset about recent things that have happened. I'm trying to give up that upsetness and making what I'm feeling push me forward to the next up level. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, it goes back to Paula. I know you were driving, so I don't know if you heard when I talked about this, but what we think about persists. It's very, very challenging right now for a lot of people. And this is one of the reasons I keep going on and on about Orser. So I will say it in the system that you know about, which is, I would say Obatala is probably the best way to understand this energy. But more than anything, this is why I love metaphysics, because it just is plain language. More than anything is that there is energy. That's it. We're energy. And there is higher wisdom. And for me, what I've been doing is lifting my eyes up and looking at the wisdom and keeping my eyes high, keeping my vision high on the wisdom. Because when I really begin to think about it, I'm not just talking to Paula, I'm talking to everybody. When I really begin to think about it, this is a holographic projection. We're all lining up to get Oscars, y'all. Like, seriously, we are all in this game. Like, we are in this game of life. We are, there's like all these storylines that are going on, all these things that are happening, and we're all in it. And that's why I said, what I began to realize is I'm going to do the thing that brings me the most peace. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do whatever brings me the most peace. And that's why I think we keep getting this Orser reading. So I just offer that to you. I'll offer that to you. That's what's bringing me peace, is just saying, I start looking at the universe. I start thinking about, I have multiple lifetimes. Like, it's so much bigger. Everything, the world, the universe, everything is so much bigger. And that's just, I just would prefer to be more expansive, So yeah, I was walking through Costco asking my body, can I eat this? Okay. So did that work, Jawan? Yeah. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what she called it. She just told me what to do. Girl, your body said, don't even play about asking. Yeah, that's what my body said. No, that's a very good question. I'm going to put it up here. Does everyone have the same sway for yes and no? No. As a matter of fact, some people their body may go in a circle. It's best just to ask a whole bunch of questions that the absolute like yes or no answer to. And then you got to relax into it. This is a very Yemoja situation. It's very Yemoja. You got to relax into it. And when you relax and trust, then you won't feel confused. I think a lot of times people start feeling confused, like, am I doing this right or wrong and everything? So yes, exactly. Not everybody's will be the same. And Jawan says, my body does a circle for no. You have to ask your body, show me yes, show me no. Exactly. Just like a pendulum. Yes. Just like a pendulum. Yep. And, they use the pendulum. Like, that was one of the things that they said you could use. But I just like asking my body, especially when it comes to food and, Like sometimes I'm at the health food store, and I will just use that instead, because who wants to pull out a pendulum all this time? And then you're standing in the store holding it up. Even at the health food store, I'm just like, I know these people think I'm crazy. So okay, so let's just talk shortly about. Dang, we've been really talking. Y'all know me, I can go. Just want to go over. I'm going to keep pushing us through a happy pocket full of money. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So I took some notes so I don't have to just keep reading it. So yes, I've actually, because I've prepared for this evening, it was one of the reasons I've just been talking so much about energy. Y'all, for me, what living in this time, space time, and this time in the space time continuum is doing for me is making me dig deeper into spiritual principles, and making the choice to live according to higher law. I feel more empowered when I do that. I don't like feeling like I'm not quite sure how to make an impact in this world, or I don't like feeling like the world is scary. And so I find this works. So I want to just encourage you all to be ma'at. I don't ask people to believe like I believe. I don't ask people to buy into anything. The only thing I might would ask you to buy into is that you are great. You are wonderful. Okay. To believe in yourself. That would be something I might would try to sell you on. But anything else, test it. Okay. And I think that one of the things that is very important, a guideline, a standard for you to use, is how peaceful does something lead you to, what, how much does it lead you to be peaceful or be at peace, be centered in yourself, feel congruent with yourself, feel at peace with yourself. Okay. So the world you see with your eyes is simply an imperfect perception of a group of quantum activity. We've been talking about quantum. And again, when we're thinking about quantum energy, we're talking about, when we're talking about quantum, we're talking about energy. Okay. And so it says here, yet the quantum activity is caused by you. You are first cause. Never think that what you see with your eyes is first cause. It's just an effect. And so sometimes this is a hard pill to chew on, but when we begin to embrace we are first cause, this is universal law. This is, it's like nothing to feel guilty about, nothing to feel bad about or anything like that. Then we don't look at the effect. And I think this is what I've been trying to explain, as I was talking about Paula's comment, is I'm learning to be less about the effect and be more about the cause. I do think that there is a level of doing this work so that it comes naturally, because we have been, a lot of times we look at the effect and we're like, this is bad, but it's really looking at the cause. And it's not so much like it's not all the time this psychological thing. It's literally like energy. And it's about, what do we think about? What do we feel about? What are we focused on? What do we believe is possible in our lives? This is what first cause is. When we're thinking about cause and effect, it's more about that. Does that make sense, y'all? Tell me, does that make sense? Let me see here. What else did I want to write down? In the NLP community, it's one of the things that we talk about. We are at cause. We always want to be at cause in our lives. We want to always be in the driver's seat. Oftentimes, I relate this to the energy of Heru or Shango, which is the more we do our best to say, well, other folks may have done stuff, but what can I do now? Like, what's the next step I can take? That's what it means to be at first cause. But the other piece of this is this manifestation piece, which is When I go inside and I look at my predominant thoughts and my beliefs, or when I know something is up, like I keep trying to do fill in the blank and it's not working. And so I'm getting ready to turn on a hypnosis track or go see a hypnosis, or I'm getting ready to, if every day, another thing that we talk about in hypnosis, in the hypnosis community, is the subconscious mind gets on a one-way track. It just keeps going in one direction. And so we want to get to a point where when we want something new in our lives, we've got to put ourselves on a different track. We've got to do something different. And so that is another way to begin to put yourself at first cause. You just make a decision. I'm not going to do A, I'm going to do B. And I used to tell people, this is even before I started, became a hypnotherapist and started studying to be an NLP practitioner. I used to tell people every year I will do something different. I will find something that I'm just doing rotely. And so like one year I stopped using Google Chrome and I started using Microsoft Edge, or I might go use Firefox. I will switch up what browser I use, because I'll just get on and just like blindly click, click, click. And I'm like, I didn't even get on here to do that, because the subconscious mind is just one track. Another year, Mercury retrograde situation, I ended up, somebody hit me. And so I had to get a new car. And I decided I'm too busy. I'm just going to order my car on Carvana. And when they were about to bring it to me, day of, they were like, did you know this is a stick shift? I was like, dang, no wonder the price was so good on this car. It's a stick shift. I was like, bring it on, bring it on. Fortunately, I know how to drive a stick shift. But I did that because I was like, I need something different. I need my subconscious mind to switch. So this is how we can begin to move ourselves in a direction where we will, this is how we begin to make shifts. We want to look at, what can I do to take myself in a different direction? It don't have nothing to do with people on the outside. Nothing. What can I do? And we have to have this high level of belief. We can't let people make us feel like, well, that's just a bunch of pie in the sky stuff. No, let's live according to universal law. But be my eye. So they talked about the Schrodinger's cat. I don't know if y'all have heard about that. I don't really want to talk about it because I don't really understand it. But essentially, it's an experiment that happened, and what they say is, and think about when you hear about like double blind experiments and different things like that, what people see is what they expected to see. Like their judgment dictates what actually happens in the experiment. And so this is what life is. What we see in life, a lot of it has to do with what do we expect to see. And this is why it's important for us to constantly take that time to look at, what do I believe? What are my beliefs? And do I need to get rid of any of them? Are there some beliefs I need to rid myself of? Yeah. So that's what that says right there. And then this one is talking about energy. Yes, everything has energy, and we arrange it from the mind. We arrange energy. It's just like every day, why is my car out front, parked where it is? Because I expect to see it there. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Okay. Hallelujah. Okay. And what I wrote here was things like E5. Wait a minute. Let me get down. Even the smallest tiny piece of matter has a tremendous amount of energy in it. And you and everything else is just energy arranged together by information from the mind. Let's see here. And it talks here about your light, because we are these particles. And so that means that we are life. Particles can move forward. They can move backward into time. This is the stuff that we are made out of and in control of. Let me see here. What is this one? And he talks about the five senses, but just because we have the five, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, just because we have the five senses doesn't mean that there isn't something beyond that, right? And so, like you said, I've said this, and I probably said it because I read this book many, many years ago. The universe is a hologram. What difference does that make in your mind when you think this is really a holographic projection? What difference does that make in your mind? But we are one large organic whole whose parts are changing all the time. Each part can look at the other part, and each part has its own level of consciousness and awareness. Yet the whole acts exactly as a whole, while the parts act as part of the whole, while the individual and whole with individual and whole properties. And I think this is one of the reasons that it's so important for us to be cautious about what we let in. Just like what Alexis said on my YouTube channel, we got to be cautious of what's coming into our consciousness. Who are we hanging out with? And I am one who likes to kind of like hear all the different sides, because I don't ever want to be in an echo chamber. But when it comes to my energy, I'm looking at what brings me the most peace, what makes me show up in the world and giving and loving person. When I start showing up all mad and angry and stuff, it's like, okay, I got to get myself together, because I'm not expressing my best self with that kind of energy. That's just my way of looking at it. But yeah, let me just look and see what y'all are saying. I want to see, do y'all have any questions? Okay, I was just standing there holding food to my chest. I saw some people catch me doing it. Yes. Good, Paula. You've been listening to the audiobook. I love it. I'm sleeping next to this week. Hypnosis track. Yes. First cause. To improve the cause, we have to let go of our conditionings. Yes. And it's not always easy. In my opinion, hypnosis is a really easy way to begin to release some of our conditioning. Some of it is just, we know this is a conditioning, and it's just like, I'm just going to let it go. The first time you introduced this concept to me, I was like, no, I didn't. You said you were at first cause. I was devastated. Like, I did it. Yes. It's challenging initially, but then look at how powerful you become when you embrace this. Sometimes I feel like I make things appear when I'm looking for it. It is a weird feeling. You want me to tell you what I think, Paula? You think about that little, I guess he's like a little monk or something like that. And what is the name of that? The Matrix, who made the spoon then when he was talking to Neo. I think Neo was waiting to talk to the Oracle, and the little monk guy was out there and made the spoon bend. But to me, this is what helps us to tap into our divine feminine nature. When we begin to embrace the higher principles, to me, the divine feminine nature is about making stuff happen that you want to happen in your life, right? Creating what you want to create in your life. And I think it's important for us to make sure we embrace that we deserve that. Okay. Also, some subatomic events and effects of others and causes of others. This brings in the law of cause and effect, of karma, of reaping and sowing to a completely new light. The law of cause and effect is and karma are not only spiritual, but scientific. The last little part, all along, we have said that all the universe's thought individually and collectively cause the energy to form into the physical reality we experience. This is so, but there is an even stronger cause, state of being. This is another reason why I was like, I want to talk about Orser this evening, okay? There are many states of being, such as being happy, fast, wealthy, and so on. This is the strongest cause, the first cause of all. It is so because it is the declaration of spirit, of self. From a state follows certain thoughts pertaining to that state. And so I'll talk about it more, but in the NLP world, we talk about, if you want to manifest something, it's important to if you want to manifest something, it's important to become that thing first. In your beingness, you want to be it. And from there, that's how you manifest it. Typically, we want to manifest it and then we'll say, well, I'm being it. But it's the other way around when we're looking at universal law. So we'll talk more about states of being, but just look at what you're being from day to day, all week long. Pay attention to, what am I being? How am I showing up in the world? What is my identity? It also let me know how powerful I am to, and it straightened me out. Yes. I want to go back in time and warn my little girl about events that happened in the past. This way now will be different and tomorrow will be different. I honestly believe that, Paula. I say yes, do that. Just like, what is that? What's the name of that movie, y'all? Back in the Time or something like that. So yes, I'm going to go on ahead and just start wrapping it up because it's getting so late and oh my gosh. Woo. So yes, to me, this is what it's really about. If you really want to know what I'm about, this is what it's really about. It's about understanding universal law, living according to it, and not letting. I love being alive. Like, you're not going to experience this once you come out of your body. But, and so I embrace, I embrace that I chose to be here at this time in the space-time continuum. And I embrace that I now understand higher universal laws, and that's the best way for me to live. That's what's going to bring me the more peace. That's what's going to help me to actualize. And so that's what I offer to you all. I offer to you all what works for me. I offer to you all what I think will put you in the most empowered place. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. I appreciate you. And I hope that we all continue to chat and stay connected and, just all that kind of good stuff. I think it's going to be even more important as we go deeper into this year, into the top of next year. I don't know why. I just know what the astrology says. But this week we have a foundational astrology class. I hope and pray that y'all check out some of the replays. I think the replays are respectable. Like, there's some videos I watched from years ago, like from my godfather. I'm so glad somebody took the time to, record it so that I could go back and listen to them, their videos I recorded. And so the replay is respectable. There is a lot that I'm sharing if y'all are interested. But anywho, there is a foundational astrology class this week. It's fun. It's like, come learn more about yourself. That's what this is all about. This Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. If you can't make it, #replay. The replay is respectable. Wishing y'all an amazing week. Let's stay connected in Mighty Networks, y'all. Let's stay connected in Mighty Networks. Love you all, and I will connect with you all soon. Peace and love.